It was a Tuesday morning in Spartanburg, not so early that the world felt hushed, but late enough for traffic to snarl along East Blackstock Road. Folks were grabbing coffee, hustling to meetings they'd rather skip, and the Chevron gas station just west of town hummed with the usual rhythm of pumps and idling engines. Marcus Tate, a tall, solid man in his 40s, pulled into the lot in a black SUV with low-profile government plates. His charcoal suit, crisp white shirt, and the faint glint of a badge at his waist screamed DC, not a gas station tucked between Pump 6 and a Redbox machine. Quiet eyes, steady posture had the kind of presence that made people step aside without a word. An earpiece sat snug in his right ear, and he wasn't here to linger. He just needed coffee. One cup, black, no fuss. As Marcus stepped out of the convenience store, coffee in hand, a county deputy's cruiser screeched into the lot, parking sloppily across the lines. Deputy Carl Hensley, broad-chested with a buzz cut and aviators despite the overcast sky, climbed out fast, one hand resting on his sidearm. He clocked Marcus, the SUV, the suit, and that was enough. "You with that vehicle?" Hensley barked, striding closer. Marcus met his gaze calmly. "Yes, sir." Hensley's eyes narrowed. "Keys. Registration. What's your name?" Marcus raised an eyebrow, voice even. "Sir, I'm on official duty. I can show you my—" Hensley cut him off, voice rising. "I asked for your name." His hand now gripped his holster, and a few heads turned. A guy by the car wash paused, phone in hand. A woman at Pump 2 glanced over. Marcus kept his tone steady. "My name is Deputy Chief Marcus Tate, United States Secret Service." That only seemed to light a fuse in Hensley. He took 2 aggressive steps forward, close now, posture bristling. "Don't play games with me. Everybody's got a story. You look real slick in that suit, huh? That your cousin's car? You borrow it." Marcus blinked, unfazed. "I can reach for my credentials, slowly. They're in my jacket." Hensley snorted, stepping back and drawing his gun. "You think I haven't seen fake badges before?" The woman at Pump 2 gasped, and a small crowd started to form. "Hands where I can see them," Hensley shouted. Marcus didn't flinch. He set his coffee on the ground, knelt slowly, and laced his fingers behind his head. "I am not a threat," he said, voice level. "My badge is in my left inside pocket." Hensley chuckled, weapon still aimed. "Man thinks he's in a movie." Marcus glanced at the growing crowd. Someone across the lot raised a phone, recording. Hensley circled, trying to get behind him. "Bet you got backup in that SUV, huh? Recording this with your boys." Marcus stayed silent. Silence was safer. Then came the moment that changed everything. Hensley leaned down and yanked open the SUV's door, expecting drugs or weapons. Instead, he found a laptop docked in the console and a government-issued ID clipped to the glove box lining. He froze, hesitating. Marcus spoke, clear enough for everyone to hear. "You just opened a secured federal vehicle without probable cause." Hensley's eyes narrowed. "Yeah? And you just impersonated a federal officer." Another black SUV rolled into the station, tinted windows, engine quiet. Hensley didn't notice, his focus locked on Marcus, gun still drawn. But someone in that second SUV saw everything, and they weren't amused. Hensley paced, finger hovering too close to the trigger, jaw clenched, words spilling faster. "You got smart answers, huh? Let's see how long that lasts." Marcus stayed kneeling on the asphalt, hands behind his head, not arguing, not explaining, just waiting. 2 kids by the snack machine watched wide-eyed, phones out. A middle-aged man leaned against his pickup at Pump 4, arms folded. The second SUV stopped near the air pump, and a woman stepped out, tall, light brown skin, all black, earpiece in, no hesitation in her stride. "Tate, status," she called. Marcus didn't move. Non-compliant local officer, drawn weapon, unauthorized search of a secured vehicle. "I've not resisted." Her eyes snapped to Hensley. "You want to explain what the hell you're doing?" Hensley lowered his gun an inch, turning. "Who are you?" She pulled credentials from her chest pocket. "Senior Agent Lauren Bell, United States Secret Service." "That man is my superior." Hensley blinked, tension cracking, but pride held him firm. "He claimed to be Secret Service. I wasn't taking that at face value." Lauren's voice cut like glass. "You pulled a weapon on a federal officer. That's not doubt, that's a felony." He opened his mouth, but she shut him down. "Don't finish that sentence. You've said too much." A third SUV roared in, faster, more aggressive. Two men stepped out, suits, no sunglasses, hands alert near holstered guns. One, a sharp-featured man with gray temples, walked straight to Marcus. "Deputy Chief Tate, are you injured?" "No, sir," Marcus replied, still kneeling. "We're rolling body cams, witnesses recording. Local law enforcement failed to verify credentials before drawing." "Confirm," the man said. Lauren glanced at Marcus. "You can stand, sir." Marcus rose slowly, dusting his pants, adjusting his jacket like he was heading into a meeting, not standing in a gas station where a gun had just been in his face. Hensley didn't fully back down, chest puffed. "You people don't roll through here with special treatment." "I did what I thought was right." The gray-templed agent stepped forward. "You thought wrong. You're now the subject of a federal misconduct report." A man in the crowd shouted, "I got it on video." Another yelled, "He had a gun on that dude the whole time." Hensley's face flushed as the crowd closed in phonies. Eyes, voices. A young woman by the store whispered loudly. He laughed at his badge. The story was spreading, posts already hitting the internet. Black federal agent harassed by local cop in Spartanburg. The third SUV's arrival turned the gas station heavy. No one shouted, no cuffs were thrown, but every second after Marcus stood felt tighter. The gray-templed agent flipped open his badge. "Supervisory Special Agent Nathan Cross. I need you to surrender your weapon and step away from Deputy Chief Tate." Hensley blinked twice. "You're serious?" "We're not asking," Cross replied. "This stop was unauthorized, the weapon draw unjustified, and you tampered with a federal vehicle. You're under administrative detention pending review." Hensley's hand twitched toward his belt instinct. Maybe, but the agents behind Cross shifted forward, presence enough to stop him cold. Lauren's voice was clipped. "Don't make this worse." Hensley's face changed, not guilt, but the shock of someone who thought they were in charge until they weren't. Slowly, he unclipped his holster, handed his firearm grip first to an agent, and raised his hands. Jaw tight, shoulders back, he tried to act like this was routine. Lauren turned to Marcus. "You good, sir?" Marcus nodded. "Better now." The crowd hadn't quieted. A gas pump beeped, a semi rumbled by. A ringtone chirped in the store, but the mood was clear. A guy at pump 7 yelled, "Yo, I got the whole thing, man. You want it? I'll send it." Cross glanced over. "We'll want every copy. Our team will be in touch." Two more black vehicles pulled in and marked sedans, likely Department of Homeland Security, alerted when Marcus's badge ID hit their system. Hensley, now in the back of a government sedan, looked like he was shrinking inside his uniform, not cuffed, but stripped of the shield his badge once gave him. Cross walked over. "Deputy, you'll sit there while we finish initial reports. You'll be monitored and recorded." Hensley tried to speak. "This isn't how things are done around here." Cross cut him off. "That's exactly the problem." Hensley climbed into the sedan without another word. Inside a field command SUV parked near Pump 8, Marcus sat with Lauren, Cross, and DHS liaison Sarah Lynn, who typed quickly, glancing at footage flooding in. 5 separate videos from bystanders, she said. "Audio's clean on 3, no editing, straight uploads." Cross looked at Marcus. "You want to go on record today, or wait for official channels?" Marcus shook his head. "No press, not now. If they want the truth, they can wait for the report." Lynn frowned. "You'll get pressure, public, internal, political. MSNBC, The Hill, even local radios asking for your name." Marcus's expression didn't shift. "Let them guess for now." Across the lot, Hensley's department liaison, a red-faced Lieutenant Grant, paced around the sedan, muttering into his phone. Inside the gas station, the clerk, a wiry guy named Eddie with a goatee, watched through the windows. "I've seen that cop before," he told an agent taking his statement. "Hensley's always twitchy. Yelled at me once 'cause I wouldn't unlock the beer fridge early." The agent scribbled. "Did you witness today's incident?" Eddie nodded. "Thought it was a robbery at first. Then I heard the guy say he was Secret Service. I grabbed my phone, but the lady agent showed up before I could record." The agent pressed. "Would you make a formal statement if needed?" Eddie sighed. "Yeah. I don't want that happening to me just 'cause I wear a jacket somebody don't like." Back in the SUV, Lauren checked on Marcus. "You sure you're good?" He gave a small nod. Used to watching things happen to others, not being in the middle. She leaned forward. "You handled it like a machine." Marcus's voice was low. Had to. If I moved too fast, I'd be the story the kind that ends in a funeral, not a headline. Cross stayed quiet, then turned to Lynn. What's the department doing about Hensley's status? She replied, administrative leave, no badge, no gun, no system access. IA's opening a parallel inquiry. Cross raised an eyebrow. Governor's office called yet? Lynn smirked. Give it an hour. The crowd had thinned, but a few lingered, waiting for more drama. A woman with silver braids and leather sandals leaned into her car window, telling her daughter, "You see that man? That's how you hold your ground without losing your soul." Marcus, still in the SUV, stared ahead, not angry, not gloating, just processing. "This isn't just about me," he said. "This happens all the time. Only difference is I had a badge and backup. Most don't." Lauren rested her hand on the seat back. "That's why it matters that the whole country saw it." By noon, the footage was the top trending topic online. A post from @upstatev, a grainy 30-second clip of Hensley aiming at Marcus kneeling, hit 50,000 shares in an hour. The caption read, "He said he was Secret Service." Dude laughed. "Guess who's in cuffs now?" Hashtag Marcus Tate spread like wildfire, with captions like "They tried him," "They failed," and "How many times does this happen when no one's filming?" Cable news ran the story on loop, lower thirds blaring. Black Secret Service official wrongfully detained at gas station, and officer draws gun on federal agent caught on video. Spartanburg, a small southern town, was now the heart of a national conversation. In a secure DHS command post, Marcus sat at a steel table as legal advisors and comms officers debated strategy. Marion Wu, DHS Media Counsel, spoke up. "We can't keep your name out anymore. Your photo's out. Somebody from your high school posted a yearbook pic, and the local paper confirmed your position. CNN, PBS, even a morning show want you on camera." Marcus rubbed his forehead, leaning back. "I don't want to be the face of anything." Wu softened. "You already are. Even if you don't speak, the footage does." He glanced at a muted TV in the corner, where a clip played him kneeling, Hensley's gun inches from his head. The image spoke louder than any audio. A field agent entered with a folder. Preliminary review of Hensley's file. Multiple complaints for aggressive conduct. 2 use of force incidents in 5 years. No suspensions. All closed without discipline. Wu shook her head. "They'll eat that alive on TV." Marcus walked to the window. Outside, press vans lined the street. Protesters waved hand-painted signs, and onlookers craned for a glimpse. He'd handled high-stakes ops summits, presidential details, overseas threats, but nothing felt this personal, this exposed. A knock interrupted. Director Victor Hayes, head of regional field operations, stepped in, salt and pepper hair catching the light. "Mind if I speak with you alone?" The room cleared. Hayes leaned against the table. "You handled it better than most." "Hell, better than me." Marcus shrugged. "Didn't see a choice." "He made one. I reacted." Hayes nodded. "Men like Hensley don't usually face pushback, not unless it ends in blood. This time it didn't." "That means something." Marcus exhaled. "It shouldn't have to mean something just because I lived through it." Hayes studied him. "You want to walk away quietly? I'll back you. But people need to hear from someone who didn't lose their cool, didn't raise their voice, didn't take the bait." Marcus glanced at the TVS ID photo, now side by side, with a video still, commentary scrolling. He turned back. "If I do it, it's my way. One statement, one time, no spin." Hayes nodded and left. Marcus opened a legal pad, staring at the blank page before picking up a pen. Outside, the noise swelled, honking cars, microphones shoved at agents, signs reading "We saw you" and "Badge Justice" flapping in the wind. But what Marcus was about to write would quiet every room it entered. 3 days later, he stood behind a plain wooden podium in a Spartanburg community hall. No flags, no fanfare, just folding chairs, a modest PA system, and 200 people packed in to see a man they now felt they knew. He wore slacks and a black sweater, sleeves rolled, voice steady, eyes serious but not hard. "I've spent 15 years protecting people who'll never know my name," he began. "That's the job. You blend in, stay sharp, don't draw attention." But last week, attention found me. The room stayed quiet, phones lifted silently. I wasn't mistaken for someone dangerous. I was judged in seconds, not for what I did, but for what someone thought they saw. He paused, choosing his words. "I don't hate that officer. I don't even feel anger anymore. What I feel is disappointment, deep disappointment that someone in uniform, sworn to serve, looked at me and decided I didn't belong. In the front row, high school students sat shoulder to shoulder, one leaning forward, elbows on knees, not blinking. Marcus continued, "You've seen the video, some of you recorded it. But the moment that mattered was when I decided who I wanted to be, even while someone else decided who I wasn't. If I'd yelled, moved too fast, said one wrong thing, I might not be here. That's what scares me." A ripple of agreement spread, not loud, just honest. My nephew asked me why people treat us different if we didn't do anything wrong. He's 12, and I couldn't give a simple answer, because there isn't one. But I told him, when someone lowers the standard, you raise yours. When they lose their temper, you keep your ground. You show the world who you are, even when they try to rewrite your story. The audience clapped, not loud, but from the heart. An elderly man with thick glasses approached later, voice low. "I was a cop here for 31 years. What happened embarrassed me. But hearing you speak reminded me who the badge is supposed to protect." Marcus nodded. "Thank you, sir. That means a lot." That night, at his brother's house, Marcus sat at the kitchen table while his nephew, Jaden, colored quietly. "Did people believe you today?" Jaden asked. "I think so." Jaden didn't look up. "Will it happen again?" Marcus paused. "Some people will always assume wrong. But people are watching now, learning, listening." Jaden glanced up. "You didn't yell." Marcus smiled faintly. "No, but I spoke loud enough." The internal investigation took 2 weeks. Carl Hensley was suspended without pay, his record once ignored now dissected. Complaints dismissed as misunderstandings formed a pattern. The department called the incident regrettable, promising to review protocols, but it rang hollow. Marcus didn't comment. He skipped talk shows, book deals, and social media threads, returning to work instead. 3 weeks later, he stood before recruits at a federal training facility in Glencoe, Georgia, young faces full of sharp angles and big ideas. "Your job isn't just protection," he told them. "It's to see what's really happening when everything's moving fast, to see beneath the surface, even when instincts scream to jump. One wrong decision can't be undone." A trainee raised his hand. "Sir, how do you train for staying calm?" Marcus's smile was small. "You don't train for calm. You train for clarity. Clarity comes from listening, patience, knowing you don't need to yell if you're right." After, a young woman, Asian American, approached quietly. "My brother saw your video. He doesn't trust cops at all. But he said, maybe not all of them after watching you. I wanted you to know." Marcus nodded. "Thank you." It wasn't validation he needed, but it mattered. That evening, on his hotel's back porch, Marcus sipped water, watching the horizon fade to dark blue. His phone buzzed. An op-ed had published his statement, calling it measured, powerful, overdue. He didn't read it. Instead, he texted Jaden, "Keep asking questions. That's how we fix things. Love you." Seconds later, Jaden sent a drawing Marcus in his suit beside a cop, both under words in thick crayon. Be better than what they expect. Marcus smiled, not because it fixed everything, but because some stories don't end, they teach. This one taught that respect is a choice, silence can be strength, and dignity doesn't need volume. Most of all, it showed that character shines brightest when the world's pointing a weapon at you, and how you carry yourself when no one believes you. That's when your real badge shows.